Alright, I know it's one after the other, but I saw this one, got curious, and couldn't stop reading. Anyway, here's another villainous story, a manhwa called Trapped in a Soap Opera. Hello. This is Being Tato. I promise I'll stay away from the villainous genre after this one. So, I know of K-dramas. My husband and my mother-in-law watch so many of those, but I haven't really watched any. American soap operas, on the other hand, when I was younger after school, I would be at my grandmother's and she would have all the soap operas on. So I got into shows like Young and the Restless and General Hospital. They were terrible, but man, I was hooked. My parents would watch the occasional novella. The one that I remember the most was Amigas y Rivales. I will say though, this surprisingly had way fewer cliches than I expected. There were many times I was like, oh, this is gonna happen because it's a soap opera, and no, it didn't. Anyway, this series is currently on Webtoon, and at the time of reading, there were 36 chapters available, with 5 more available for purchase, and new chapters releasing on Tuesdays. The manhwa is still ongoing with what looks like 46 chapters currently. The light novel, on the other hand, is complete with what looks like either 137 chapters or 150 chapters. I see both, but the 150 could be including side stories. There are other titles to this series. The official is I'm Trapped in a Soap Opera, but it is also under the name I'm Trapped in a Terrible Drama and I'm Stuck in a Crazy Drama, so if you're going to Google it, try it under those names as you may get more results. Now, without getting into spoilers yet, I will say, and of course I will explain later in the spoilers section, but after reading some spoilers for the light novel, I am considering not continuing this series. I enjoyed reading it. I actually loved a lot of it, but it's the end goal, I guess I'll say, that I don't like. Like I said, I'll talk about that later. I did see while reading spoilers that people were commenting that the manhwa did change things from the light novel, so it apparently is different. Maybe it'll change and be different. For a villainous story, this was good. I had to force myself to stop reading some nights and go to bed. This is a transmigration villainous story, but an interesting thing is that while the main character is now occupying the body of the villainess in a soap opera, she still looks the same as she did. The villainess looked like her. This character is great. I really liked her. While she is not playing the villainous role anymore, because she had a moment where she had to realize this is her new reality. This is now her life. She is trying to fix what she can so that way as the story progresses, she can still live without issue. She is very cunning and is very assertive, dishing right back out what is given to her, but even she acknowledges that she is quite hot-headed. As for the original female lead, she is the type who is not actually nice and is actively working against the main character. There are many creepy shots and the majority of them are from her. She is just not a good person, and the more you learn about her, really makes you question if she was actually the female lead of the soap opera. Just as a personal issue, the art is fine, but the style for many of the characters' eyes is just not my favorite. They are done in a way that makes them look bored, uninterested, and just drowsy. Now, for any potential issues that could be triggering, the male leads are kind of the typical male leads in these types of stories. The fiance hates her, another one despises her, and the last one doesn't meet her till a few chapters in, and he is obsessive. Some moments were a bit scary, not in an, oh, this is frightening, but in a, girl, you gotta get away because you're in danger type way. When you learn more about the third male lead, it's less unnerving, but that comes much later. Of the male leads, the fiance is my favorite, but I can't discuss that yet until I get into the spoilers. Other things, this is a soap opera. There's tons of bullying, plotting, accusation, the whole works. I'm going to head into spoilers in just a moment, but I'll first go over the first chapter setting up the plot, so if you don't want to be spoiled, you may want to leave now. So the main character, finally at a point in her life where things are looking good, ends up having a heart attack and dies. She wakes up as Sarah Shin, the villainess in a soap opera that she watched. She's already done many terrible things, but only a little bit of the story with the male leads has progressed. She knows that the story does have the male leads and the female lead stopping her, leading to the character's death, so she wants to avoid that at all costs. Like I already said, I like the fiancé the best out of the male leads. At first, he is the typical jerk fiancé, but after speaking more with each other, they really end up having a more mature relationship. She tells him, "I don't like you, you're not a good person, you are more concerned with your image," and he listens and realizes that, yeah, I've been bad and I have not been communicating, and he does try to do better. Not to win her over, because at that point they're already trying to find ways that they can break off their engagement while still benefiting the other, but because he acknowledges his own issues in his life, sees that she's changing, and adjusts himself. He is also very respectful of her. Later, when he does realize that he does have feelings for her, he says that maybe they should give the marriage a try, and she shuts that down real quick, and he doesn't push it, remaining more of a friend to her. He is seriously doing what he can to help her. He realizes that she is a different person. This is not the woman he knew, this is somebody new, and she is having a lot of trouble. So he helps her. Now, I would be fine with them being friends if the story had kept more of the playful, friendly dynamic, where they were more just helping each other business-wise, but there's clearly more romantic feelings from him. So this is where I have the issue where I considered no longer reading. The fiancé is not the male lead, and the actual male lead is someone who was taken in by the main character's father. And at first, I did think they were really cute. I thought their dynamic was really good, but the more it went on, the more it just felt worse and worse. There's a scene where he discovers a secret about the main character, and because she's changed, he puts it away and chooses to not use it. However, he starts struggling with his feelings for her, and after getting jealous seeing her happy and being close with her fiance, he considers using it so that it would break off the engagement. He doesn't, but my respect for him dropped at that point. This is light novel spoilers from here, but he is apparently possessive. My understanding is that he is basically threatening her to be with him later in the series, but I guess we'll have to see to know for sure. Lastly, the third male lead is obsessive. He does have some trauma, and it is through the main character that he feels better. The first male lead also has trauma, while the fiancé, the second male lead, is probably the one with the less trauma, but certainly has some family issues. Now, the original female lead. Upon meeting her, I could sense that mean girl right away. There are plenty of villainous stories out there with manipulative original female leads. Honestly, the last one that I read, the condemned villainess goes back in time and aims to become the ultimate villain. She reminds me of this one. There's definitely more going on, but the original female lead does things to make her seem like the victim, or she does things that just sets off the villainous character because she actually is being targeted. Like I said, it does remind me of the last villainous manga I read because the male leads are not buying her act, same as that one. The original female lead just takes a lot of joy in watching the main character suffer, and they do have a history with one another. Some of the more recent flashbacks show them in middle school, and it seems that that has just always been the way she is, trying to take away from the main character. Anyway, it's 50-50 on recommendation for this one. I really liked it. I loved the story for the most part, but just knowing the ending, I'm more hesitant about it. Not knowing the ending, absolutely I would recommend it, so take that as you'd like. I know many people do not like to be spoiled. I am not one of those people, which is why I do seek out the spoilers, but this is one where I would actually recommend knowing the ending of who she's going to end up with to decide if you want to go ahead and take on reading this story. Maybe it would be better to do what I did and read a decent amount of the manhwa first, maybe 15 chapters or so, and then seek out the spoilers to really get a better decision made. I mean, I was hooked on the story. I really loved reading it. Then I sought out the spoilers, and then I chose to continue reading it, and I may still continue reading it. Next, I will not read another villainous story, I promise, but I do have a few manga planned, as well as trying something different with reading. I also do have some travel videos planned, more informative videos than anything, not the normal reviews, so I do hope you like those. Of course, if you would like, do the things like, comment, subscribe, or not. My name is Bean. I mostly talk about manga, anime, and manhwa, but sometimes I'll do different things. Check out the description for links to the model I'm using and any other images here. Okay, bye.